The fine landed on my doorstep like a slap $5,000 for illegal hunting, courtesy of Pamela Sterling, the HOA queen of Willow Ridge, Oregon. I just grinned, knowing that piece of paper was about to unravel her empire. She thought she owned every blade of grass in this neighborhood, but she didn't count on me knowing a thing or two about property law. Digging into those community trails she loved to hike, I found a secret that flipped the game. My name's Lucas Grant, and if you've ever wanted to stick it to an HOA, drop a comment below and tell me where you're reading from. This tale from October 2024 starts with a deer hunt, but turns into a war over land, lies, and legacy. Hang on, it's a wild one. 3 years ago, I traded Seattle's tech grind for Willow Ridge, craving space after a decade in the Army and a stint coding in cubicles. At 40, I'm a remote cybersecurity analyst, earning enough to escape to this suburb nestled against Oregon's forests. Willow Ridge looked ideal, big lots, modern homes, and woods stretching for miles. The $500 quarterly HOA fees stung, but the agent swore they kept the place pristine. What she skipped was Pamela, a 39-year-old lawyer who ran the Willow Ridge HOA like her personal fiefdom. 2 weeks in, she showed up with a welcome basket heavy on rulebooks, her smile as fake as her tan. "We're thrilled to have you," she said, eyes cold. "Follow our bylaws, and you'll fit right in." That should have been my red flag. I kept my head down, mowing my lawn to spec and skipping HOA meetings, which my neighbor Emily Carter, a 36-year-old nurse, called Pamela's courtroom dramas. Emily was a gem, dropping off muffins and warning me, "Pamela's nice until you cross her. She thinks her rules are gospel." I might have stayed invisible if not for my hunting hobby, a Montana tradition from my dad. One fall weekend, I scouted a 90-acre forest behind our lots, a pristine tract with a creek. County records showed it belonged to George Harlan, an 85-year-old retiree in Arizona. I emailed him, asking to hunt, promising respect. He replied fast, "Owned that land 60 years. Farmed it once. If you hunt, be careful. Send me a photo of a good buck." I didn't know Pamela's hiking clique had claimed those woods as their nature trails, building paths and benches without George's okay. That November dawn, I set up on George's land, rifle ready. At 8 a.m., a 10-point buck stepped out. One clean shot, and it dropped. As I started field dressing, Pamela and her yoga pants posse appeared, gasping. "What are you doing?" she shrieked, phone out. "This is our preserve." "You're a monster." I tried explaining George's permission, but she waved me off. "We manage these trails. Hunting's banned." 3 days later, a violation notice hit my door. $5,000 for cruel hunting. Emily sighed. "Pamela's telling everyone you're a threat. She sells those trails as a perk." I checked the bylaws HOAs can't fine for private land. Game on. I hit the next HOA meeting, a packed room buzzing with tension. Pamela, flanked by Greg Larson, her 43-year-old lackey from City Hall, and Clara Moore, the 57-year-old treasurer, glared as I stood. I hunted legally on private land owned by George Harlan, not HOA property, I said, showing my license and George's email. "Your fine's baseless." Clara frowned at my papers, but Pamela snapped, "Those trails are ours by use. Your guns endanger kids." Greg echoed her. "Firearms near homes are reckless." Neighbor Lisa Hayes, a 41-year-old busybody, chimed in. "I'm scared for my boys." Officer Tom Riley, a local cop and resident, confirmed my compliance, but Pamela insisted, "It's about values." She vowed to lien my house if I didn't pay. I called George, who was livid. "No one asked me about trails," he said. "Taxes are killing me. I'm selling." I floated buying it. $900,000, he said. We settled at $820,000, draining my savings and an inheritance. My attorney, Rachel Brooks, a 42-year-old real estate pro, fast-tracked the deal. Meanwhile, I found HOA permits for a Pamela Sterling Nature Park on George's land paths, picnic spots, a sign with her name. They'd raised $75,000, never contacting George. Rachel raised an eyebrow. "No adverse possession here. They didn't pay taxes or get permission. This is fraud." Pamela piled on fines, $5,900 for trash can violations and truck parking. Anonymous notes called me a poacher. Emily overheard Pamela warning neighbors to shun me. Social media buzzed with her lies. But I closed on the 90 acres, deed in hand. Next morning, Pamela and Greg arrived, lawsuit papers ready. Pay or lose your house, she smirked. I invited them in, sliding over the deed. I own the trail land now. Your park's illegal. Cease all activity, remove your benches, or I'll sue. Pamela's face drained. Greg choked. We've used it for years, she stammered. Not legally, I said. Your fundraising was fraud. They fled, and Emily texted, emergency HOA meeting tonight. Pamela's raging. I ordered no trespassing signs and trail cameras. Half the signs vanished. Cameras caught Greg and Lisa ripping them down. Robert Hayes, a 67-year-old ex-board member, slipped me a bombshell. Pamela told us to ignore the owner 10 years ago. I quit over it. Check the park fund money's missing. At a coffee shop, Clara, the treasurer, handed me a flash drive. $70,000 went to Sterling Designs, Pamela's husband Carl's firm, she whispered. She threatened my job if I talked. I gave it to Detective Sarah Klein, who saw wire fraud potential. At the meeting, Pamela painted me as a greedy outsider. He's stealing our trails, she cried, unveiling park plans. I stood. I own that land. Your park's a scam. I shared George's statement and fundraising lies. Residents gasped. Clara stood. Pamela hid the owner and funneled money to Carl. The crowd roared. DA Michael Porter and Klein watched. Pamela's threat, you'll regret this, Lucas, echoed as she stormed out. Next day, I sent residents proof of $70,000 misspent, offering a legal trail if Pamela quit. Klein caught Carl moving records. Charges loomed. Pamela rallied a trail walk trespass. I fenced my land, marked it a wildlife reserve, and called Klein. Deputies stopped her crowd, citing arrests. Pamela's stunt fizzled. She, Carl, and Greg took plea deals. Probation, $110,000 repaid. 10-year HOA ban. They sold their house and vanished. Emily led a reformed HOA, auditing funds. I built the George Harlan Trail, a public path with a plaque honoring him. The $70,000 funded an ethics scholarship. My hunt's now a neighborhood nod. Was I too ruthless, buying their trails? Should HOAs touch private land? Will Pamela plot revenge? Comment, like, subscribe, share your take.